Hello everybody, and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons! It's not raining today! Hooray! We got our painting. I actually don't know if I already had that one, but, you know, Steven to the bone! You making sure to take some time off to catch your breath? No. I talk a lot about pushing yourself, but do that too much and you'll burn out. So lay down, put on some tunes, and let the stress melt away. Good night. Oh, I should actually take the gift from that. I do not do that. Because if I ever stop, that's a bad time. Tape deck. I think I just... No, it's the nearly busted radio. Okay, I need to put some stuff away. And I have also been informed there are no deep sea eggs. I thought there were. I don't know why I thought there were. It's probably New Leaf, but... I did just spend a very long time playing it, but, yeah, there's no deep sea eggs, so I don't need to actually do any diving. So that's fun. Let's go check turnip prices right away, because I don't know if I want to do today as a two-parter or not, even if the prices aren't amazing. I mean, we've had 3 decent prices already, so... pretty safe to say this will be the last good price of the week. So, even though it is only like Wednesday. Yeah. Alright. What is our turnip price? Alright, boys. What do you got for me today? 123. I think I'll just take it, because that's probably the best price we're gonna get. So, I do kind of want to buy this computer while I'm here. Get a nice little computer going on. Get a desktop computer. Oh, I don't have enough. I completely misread the price. $1,000 for a computer? That seems pretty reasonable. I mean, mine's like... I paid $1,400 for it, added a, like, $400 CPU to it. So, it's like $1,800 at this point. So, it's like $800 cheaper than the computer I've got. Probably not as good as my computer is. I mean, did you see it? It doesn't look terribly good. But, I mean, mine doesn't probably look terribly good either. Looks can be deceiving. Sleeper PCs are a thing. So many flowers to clean up. Yeah, I've literally, like, I've been awake since, like, 8. I just laid in bed until, like, 9:30-ish, then got up, and, like, around 10, I was like, yeah, I should, like, do something. And then I realized, wait, I have to record still. So, yeah. I basically got watching some old, like, EVE Online documentaries. Specifically watching one on the Fountain War, which, that was a wild time. Like, that war happened about a year after I started seriously playing EVE. I had played on, like, trial accounts before, but I hadn't, like, seriously played before then. Because I started in 2012. Because I actually had the ability to pay for a subscription in 2012, so it was like, sweet, I'll actually start playing this game properly. And, like, you could tell something big was going on, even if you weren't part of that war. Especially just because the servers themselves were feeling it. Like, they were really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I say the servers. This is EVE Online. It's one big server. At the time, it was still just a single big server. Which, given that was also the point we had literally the bloodbath of B-Dak-R, which is, I believe, still the largest PvP battle to ever happen in an MMO or online gaming period. You felt it. That was a 20-hour-long battle. Like, which I think Bloodbath was more than 20 hours. There's been longer duration battles that have gone on just involving fewer players. Because, like, there's times where you need to secure an objective, so you keep going. And, like, the game has a mechanic called time dilation, which is basically often shortened to tie-dye, where basically if the server, or nowadays the node you're on, is too overloaded, the game starts to just simply slow everything down. So that basically it doesn't, like, destroy everything. Like, the server doesn't just explode. Time dilation for the entirety of the Bloodbath of B-R was at maximum for the entire time. To the point where, like, you would basically, like, you would hit a button to do a thing, and then maybe, like, 3-4 minutes later, you would actually see that thing happen. Like, it was that level of everything is slowed down. There was literally, like, a joke of, like, you could hit the button to fire your guns, go to work, come back home, and your guns have only just started firing. You know, it's... There were some people who legitimately just left their ship firing at something and did just go to work or school and came home to still be shooting that target. Like, it's wild, man. Like, it's also something that, you know, as... Hey, Diva! What's up, Steven? Here to shop 2 acorn? Let's chat. Takes so much effort not to buy everything in here. If I was rich, I'd be like, give me this, give me that, give me all of it. Right now I can barely afford window shopping. Aw. Here, I will sell my turnips and give you all the money. Just take all of it. This is why I should never have money. Because I wouldn't have money for long. Oh, let's buy this. Bunny Day garden flag. Like, as someone who's played EVE, I wish I would have been part of that. I also wish that I would have had an active subscription when the EVE monument went up, but I did not have the money at the time. Because for those who don't know, the EVE monument is basically a real-life monument in Iceland, which is where the developer CCP is based, that has the player name of every player who was actively subscribed to the game at the time that they made it. They have done it again since, and I didn't have the money when they did another run of the monument to add any new names to it. I'm hoping if they do it again, I will have money by that point and will be able to actually get my character name on the monument. Because that'd be really cool. Okay, I need to bonk trees, because that's how the last kind of egg is gotten. I don't have many easily bonkable trees outside of, like, my, my coconut trees. Yeah, like, I could probably sit here and ramble for a very, very long time on, like, the Fountain War, or, like, So many of the different wars from EVE Online. They're just cool. Sorry, I was a little preoccupied. Pinecone, what you making? Making my specialty. It's peach pie. And my recipe for peach pie. Alright. Everyone on this island loves peaches. Like, they keep giving me peaches. They like making peach recipes. We're a pear island. Like, I can even tell some stories that, like, aren't really, like, big, well-known things. Like, I don't remember the yearing of it, but basically, the station change, where all nullsec stations got converted to faction Fortizars, which is the middle size of Citadel. And basically, whoever owned the system at the time got ownership. And Providence, my home at the time, got invaded. Yep, there goes my axe. And, like, we got destroyed. Like, we couldn't stand up to... It was Goon Swarm invading, / the CFC. The Cluster F Coalition. They rebranded themselves as the Imperium, but nah, they're the Cluster F Coalition. They will always be that. They can try to change their name all they want. Doesn't matter. That was their name. That's still their name. There's probably not many people who play EVE anymore that even remember them being called the CFC, but, you know, doesn't matter. It's not gonna stop me. I actually wonder if any of my contacts into the CFC are still playing, even. It's like, I was a rare breed of high-sec Care Bear. Because of how open and welcoming my corporation was, I ended up having a lot of people from these various nullsec groups more or less using my corporation as, like, a feeder system. Like, effectively, I was the one training their new members for the most part. And that got me a bunch of contacts in these various alliances that I could then call upon if I ever really needed them. Like, I remember joking around while I was living in Providence to one of the Provi FCs, basically saying, oh hey, a test fleet just left. Which immediately led to accusations of me being a spy, and which I then had to clarify, you know, that no, it's just, I have a contact in test who happens to be one of their FCs, and I could, if I really wanted to right now, join their fleet. If anything, I could spy for you guys. Like, I never did, because I didn't want to, like, burn that bridge ever, and I'm glad I didn't. Because, like... EVE Online is very much one of those games where the most valuable commodity is trust. Once you've broken trust with somebody, you're probably never gonna get it back. Because, like... As I think I've talked about before, I know I've talked about this on stream, EVE Online as a game is very... I mean, in a way, it's very cutthroat. Whoop! Talk to animal, don't bonk animal. Okay, touchdown, you're a sight for sore eyes. Yeah, you probably have quite a sore one after I bonked you with a rock. For a walk, I like to throw back a nice lemonade. Let's get one together sometime. I mean, lemonade's not bad. Our morning's neat. Not really, Simon, but what's the latest? Just thinking about you. Thinking about seeing your face. Your big old adorable round head. Simon, what are you even on about? Hello, Pinky. Good morning, blah. I want to chat. Guess what? I was playing single player hide and seek and I won. So bored. mean, we could always play games together, Pinky. There's no rule saying we can't. Except for the fact that there's only treasure hunt. But still, we could do treasure hunts. But like, even after the invasion of Providence, I was going somewhere with that. Like, eventually, like, we reclaimed our space, and then we were more or less just kind of hanging around, doing our thing still, because Providence was very much an enigma amongst entities, well, like regions of space in Eve. It operated under not red, don't shoot. Which basically means, if they aren't our enemy, don't shoot them. You can be suspicious of them, but don't shoot them. Don't be aggressive unless they are aggressive first. And that worked out great most of the time. I say most of the time because, well, that did mean that a group could basically clear themselves of being red, build up a fleet, and then come attack us. And we're not going to have a fleet ready for them because they aren't red. So, you know, it did kind of bite us from time to time. I want mysterious wallpaper and flooring. But, we went back to our ways, and then, not long after, basically a bunch of invading forces decided they wanted to kick CVA and all of their allies out of Providence. I was there during that time. They did not hold out very long. And honestly, I want to say the biggest reason for that was the FCs, the fleet commanders of Providence. They were the biggest problem. Like, okay, I think it's the same message every time. Like, imagine this one for a moment. Let's say your home country, wherever that may be, gets invaded. Your home country, for whatever reason, doesn't have a standing army. It just basically musters a defense anytime anyone's aggressive towards it. Like, it doesn't keep a standing army, it just creates one whenever it needs it. Because that's basically how Providence works. Now imagine that they do, in fact, keep some generals on hand, and these generals are the ones in charge of mustering the army every time it's needed. Now imagine if these generals are all elitist, rich assholes. And now you've got the Providence fleet commanders for the most part. Like, if you didn't do things exactly the way they wanted you to do them, with the exact fit they wanted you to do it, you were worthless trash, and why are you even in their fleets? It's like, really? Really? You're gonna go there? You know? Like, I didn't FC many fleets for them. The ones I did, people often ended up being shocked that I wasn't rude, and that I would try my best to accommodate people. You know, it'd be a case of, to put it in realistic terms again, let's say, you know, your country's being invaded, and you really want to help out, but you're not physically strong enough to, say, use a machine gun. You've also had no training whatsoever, and we don't have time to train you on how to use a machine gun, even if you were strong enough. But you have used smaller weapons. You have, like, you fired a pistol before. Cool, here's a pistol. Here's some body armor that you can wear. Help out. You know, that would be how I would go about things. I even at one point managed to convince a bunch of people in mining barges to come help see an enemy out of our space because, well, a mining barge may not be terribly threatening on its own, but get like 20 to 30 of them and that 2 to 3 man gang ain't gonna be hanging out too long because you do have the DPS to kill them. Like, at that point, it's a case of, you know, imagine, you know, a small, like, gang comes into your town. And sure, you don't have any, like, tanks or actual military armored vehicles to fend them off with, but you got a lot of rednecks with trucks. So you load some people into the backs of those trucks so they have some level of cover, and you drive through shooting little pistols at them, firing shotguns from long range, you know, just doing scary shit. That gang ain't gonna stick around terribly long. They're gonna leave because, well, shit, you're crazy, you know. It's just like, that sort of thing is how you keep a region of space safe when you don't have a dedicated defense system, basically. Like the larger alliances, where they operate basically under not blue, don't shoot. Well, not blue, shoot it, basically. Yeah, not blue, don't shoot. It's effectively not red, don't shoot, but still. My brain's all these terminology. Basically, if you're not an ally of them, they will just shoot you for entering their space. Because they operate on that system, they just have people all the time ready to see off invaders. Because, well, you would. And there were some parts of Providence that would have standing defense fleets, like basically the entry systems. The entry gate off of Detal, like, well, the entry gate from Detal would have basically a standing fleet almost all the time. Purely because of just how they had to be. Like, that's an entry system from HiSec, which, you know, high security space. You can't police that in any way. So a lot of fleets would use Detal as their staging system to then enter Providence through. So you would have that standing fleet on by in that area, but often that standing fleet is still people going about their day. Like, they're still doing their various money-making things. They may not be in their combat ships, you know, or if they are, they're also playing on an alt, and they may not be able to safe up that alt immediately to get into their combat ships to, you know, defend, which literally led to an aggressive faction being able to place down multiple citadels in that entry system, the first system of Providence. Like, what kind of day will it be? It's off to a good start, I can tell you that. Which, like, is another thing of just imagine how ludicrous that is as an idea. Like, imagine another country being able to send forces into your country when you have a standing fleet at the border, like not a standing fleet, like a standing army at your border with them, but most of your soldiers are off, like, playing golf or working in factories, or, you know, they're not actually actively at the border. Like, imagine North Korea just moves into South Korea and sets up a few military bases. Oh, Gala's sick. Let's see these chills. If only I'd kept some medicine. I'll go get you some. Must help Gala. But, like, just imagine if that happened. That would be ludicrous. Yeah, it can happen in Eve. Only to Providence, but it can happen in Eve. And, like, I love Providence. I love the idea of Providence. But, like, the main issue Providence had, in my opinion, was bad fleet commanders that made nobody want to defend. There's a golden rule of Eve. You have to defend what you want to maintain. Well, if people are making you so just miserable anytime you try to defend what you want to maintain, you stop wanting to maintain it. If for no other reason than to screw over those guys who are making you miserable. Like, and that's basically what happened to Providence. I'm pretty sure at this point CVA has returned. A lot of the other alliances that were part of Providence has not. Because a lot of them ended up disbanding because, well, they lost their nullsec home. Most people that are part of a nullsec alliance are fully dependent on the income from living in nullsec to keep their accounts running. They had to leave and go find somewhere else to have their character be because they just didn't have the money to... Oh. What do you want, Ed? You still want something? Brace yourself, because I have big news. Yours truly, located here now, is in possession of, wait for it, the Bunny Dane Crown recipe. Jealous? Don't worry, I got you covered. Made a copy of it just for you. Alright, man. I wonder what other recipes are out there lurking in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. This is just the type of intrigue that my soon-to-be-written autobiography has been missing. I was kinda hoping he was gonna move. Not gonna lie, I was kinda hoping he was gonna be like, oh, I'm moving away, so I could be like, oh, cool. And, should I pack your stuff for you? Like, I still really need to, like, figure out how I'm gonna do a yard around his house. I've brought medicine. Shoot. Sorry, not feeling well. I've brought you medicine. You're very welcome. Medicine. Wow, I think this will do the trick. Thanks to you, I feel like I'm already starting to recover from that cold. Me out. So in return, I could give you a terry cloth nightcap. I mean, I'm never gonna wear it, but thank you. Hope you don't catch what I had, Snorty. Aww. But, like, I actually remember, because, like, I also just kind of wandered off from Providence after it fell. Like, I stopped even remotely trying, basically. And, did I bonk a rock after I put all that money away? I had to have. Why did I do that? I don't have the inventory space for doing that, brain. But I actually ended up running into one of the old old alliances that used to be part of Providence. And they were still operating under Not Red, Don't Shoot, which was really nice to see. When a friend come say hi, it's a real nice way, neat way to start a day. I want to check. I try to stay chill with so much on my plate, you know? Folks keep asking if things are okay. I'll tell you what, what's okay? Nothing. Everything in my life is real un-okay. The jam I always spread on stuff? Missing. It's missing, man. Missing. The jar's there like always, right? The jar never lets me down, but the jam inside, it skipped town, man. These are dark days. Real dark days. Tell your jam you love it while you still got the chance. That is good advice. He and Simon are having the same issue, man. Their jam just skipping town. Really need to teach them how to make their own jam. That would probably solve the problem. Got a recipe right here. It's a cooking recipe. Maybe it's jam. To whomever this may be, while I was refreshing my body and mind with a bath, I was refreshing my body and mind with a bath when I struck sudden culinary inspiration. A new recipe. I cannot keep this idea to myself. So I've placed it in this bottle. May you enjoy it to the fullest. As always, Mathilda. I can already do that. So that's just money. Not much money, but it's money. Yeah, they were real neat neighbors. The best part is, like, when I encountered them, because I went on, like, some kind of, like, I basically went to some low-sec areas where I'm like, you know what, I could, like, live out of here. Seems pretty neat. Like, I encountered them, and a fair few of them remembered me and my corporation, and, like, we're very much in the camp of, like, yeah, man, what happened to you and your corp was kind of just, that was not cool. Because I think I've told this story before, but, like, my corporation used to be part of an alliance called Warped Intentions. Now, Warped Intentions was another of the alliances that lived kind of in around the area that we were in Providence, when we first moved to Providence. Not many people much cared about them. Like, well, cared for them. Like, literally, when we moved in and they started, like, trying to make some moves on, like, us joining them. My contacts in Surveillance, TAC 7, were basically being like, yeah, these guys aren't good. Like, keep an eye on them. If you do join them, be very wary. Like, they're not good news. But one of my directors basically started chatting up Warped Intentions and came to the conclusion of, yeah, we should join them. And I thought, alright, I mean, we're getting invites from TAC 7, but they want us to drop our corporation and just join other corporations. Maybe you are making shorter sleeves. I need to talk with Sable again. That felt wrong. I need to do a proper talk with her. Sable tells me you've been helping her out, modeling outfits and such. It means a lot to all of us. You do so much for our little family. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. But we joined them, even though I was being told, nah, we shouldn't. We joined Warped Intentions. Over time of being part of Warped Intentions, I came to the realization that my corporation was not being treated as an equal within that alliance. Even though we were the largest corporation in the alliance, with the most active members, the most experienced players. Because I would be usually in vocal opposition to the dumb things that the leadership of Warped Intentions wanted to do, mostly because I was trying to look out for my own corporation, we were basically kept out of every high-level discussion. Just flat out. At the very least, I was. Hey, Sheldon. Hey, touchdown. How you been, cardio? Let's chat. Gotta start the day off right. Muscles are a lifestyle, cardio. That was very fair. But, yeah. I basically realized, okay, so before we had joined, Warped Intentions was kind of like, wait, I need to go to the museum first. Warped Intentions was kind of like, I put that painting in my storage, didn't I? I'm doing a lot of silly things today. Oh no, I do still have it with me. Okay. They kind of still lived in high sec, and they were getting war decked a lot before we joined. By, like, basically everybody was war decking them. Because you just do that to small alliances in high sec, because it's pretty cheap to do so, and hey, if you kill a high-value mining vessel, you make a good amount of ISK. But war decks get more expensive. To declare war on a group gets more expensive the more members it has. My corporation joining Warped Intentions doubled their member count overnight. which made Wardex quite a bit more expensive. Oh, I've already donated this painting. Oh, how many people were watching yesterday and were like, no, you've already done that one, you dumb. And it's like, yeah, I am pretty dumb, aren't I? Yeah, boat. I like boats. I can't help it. I see boat, I need to buy boat. It's just how it works. I think that was the first painting I ever bought, thinking back. But, yeah, like... Oh, where was I going with that? Right. So, basically, we were a bulk of members to join Warped Intentions to, like, basically make it so that they were harder to war deck, and they got war decked less often. It also made them look decently more imposing to have, you know, a good big group in their alliance. Been meaning to thank you for being such a great customer of Dal. Wilbur's is a bit too gruff to say it, but I know I speak for both of us when I say we love flying. So, like, see you around the airport. It's like, that happened. And then as time went on, I started noticing a growing resentment from my directors towards me. Me specifically. Which culminated in, basically me having quite a big argument with one of my directors over, basically what had happened to a dreadnought we were building. Because we had intended to move into wormhole space. That was the plan at one point. We found a nice little wormhole. I had set up a pos in it. I had had a character living in it for a while. I had been taking my main account in and out. Like, there was a couple other people that came into the wormhole with me. Like, it was a nice little space. A pos being a player-owned station. Like, it was pretty nice. It was a nice time. But we were building this dreadnought so that we could basically force the other group that was living in this little wormhole to leave. Like, we were both in there, and, like, neither of us could really force the other. I actually think my pos is still in there. No, wait, we took it down. We took it down. Because we ultimately just, like, realized, okay, not enough people actually want to move into wormhole space. But we were basically done building the dreadnought, and I had trained to fly it. I was the one in possession of the dreadnought. And basically through discussions with the directors, we decided we'll sell the dreadnought and buy a large pos to put up in low-sec so we can start doing moon reactions to make a boatload of ISK for the corporation, so we could properly fund a ship replacement program. Like, that was literally what we had decided on. This director seemed to have forgotten that we had literally all decided that, and started going, like, just really, like, getting at me for, oh, I must have taken the ISK, and it's like, no, the ISK was used for what it was supposed to be used for. Whoever's come to visit. So, like, we got into this huge argument, which culminated in this director basically trying to tell me that, like, I never did anything, even though, like, I was quite often, like, sacrificing my own time and, like, anything I wanted to do to help anyone else when they needed it. Who wants food? Because I brought some food. Alright, what do you got? It's a peach. They've given me so many peaches. I want to eat it, but it's for you. Enjoy. I will add it to my peach collection. Which I believe is... like, yeah, I've got 8 peaches now. Yours feels warmer than mine. I mean, temperature warm, not like, oh, your place is warm and cozy. Even though it is warm and cozy. Seriously, your place is hot. What's your thermostat set to? I do have an Oasis floor at the moment, so probably hot would be the answer. Sure, I'll play a game. But, like, this was, like, a huge argument. And... basically, like... was the beginning... 4. Oh, man. I don't even know what he's trying to get me to win, but I'm going to say it's lower. I'm feeling 42. I'm feeling the meaning of life. It's 42! I get a fast food cap. I was trying not to win. Welcome to, I don't even know what a restaurant name with an N could be. Kind of looks like N-I. Welcome to Nook Industries. May I take your order? I'll put this back on. Sorry for just showing up like this. Thought I smelled something yummy as I was passing by. Alright, man. But yeah, then it was not long after that until both of my directors, because I only had the 2 of them, basically left to join the main corporation of Warped Intentions and convinced a lot of the active line members to go with them. Effectively gutting my corporation. And at the exact same time, my corp was kicked out of the Alliance. The leadership of Warped Intentions then started denying that they had ever poached my leadership. Like, they poached my directors. Like, they were fervent. They had never... How could I accuse them of such a thing? Well, maybe because they did it. And, like, there were other members of the leadership team of Warped Intentions who contacted me through outside of game means, because if they had tried in-game, it would have been seen. That basically let me know that, like, they were not cool with what happened, because they knew that was the plan. And they had been voicing opposition to it the whole time. Like... But, what it was seen of as was... and my directors were probably right in saying this. One of my directors probably, from what I've been told, basically was of the opinion that I was never going to leave Providence if I didn't have a reason to. And they wanted, because they'd been making some backroom deals with Test Alliance, Brave Newbies, and I believe there was one other allied alliance in that group, to get some sovereignty of their own. They wanted sovereignty. Which I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day. There's no value in holding sovereignty. And, like, they'd been talking and talking and talking about wanting their own sovereignty for a while, which is basically owning various systems of nullsec. And I'd been the one to point out that there's no... Compared to living in Providence, there is no value to owning your own sovereignty. Because there's basically NPC bills you have to pay when you own your own sovereignty, which eats into any potential profit you make from owning that sovereignty. So they basically figured, okay, there's no way we're gonna get Steph to leave Providence. We need to get him out of Warped Intentions. But we want to keep his members. So they basically orchestrated this poaching scheme to keep my members but get rid of me. And it was effed up. That, honestly, that kind of broke my will to play the game. Did leave me with quite the resentment towards Warped Intentions, which I am glad to report that alliance is no more. They have almost certainly gone on to form a new alliance. But basically, Test Alliance decided to poke the bear that is the CFC for almost no reason. They figured they could erase Goon Swarm from the map. That was their intention. Except due to the mechanics of the game, that is quite literally impossible. Like, there's literally no way to completely destroy Goon Swarm at this point due to the mechanics of the game. They're simply too large. Basically, what I mean by that is, like, due to how the server mechanics work, only so many players can be in a system at any one given time. Goon Swarm is simply large enough that they can fill their home system, so no one can actually get in. They're so large and have so many alts, they can prevent each other from logging into their home system. Like, they have more members than they need to basically never die. And given Goon Swarm has multiple members on the Council of Stellar Management, the player-elected group that's meant to help improve the game, that mechanic will probably never get changed, because the last time it was suggested to be changed by a member of the Council of Stellar Management, it was basically veto voted by the Goon Swarm members. Like, that was something that people wanted the CSM to really push for, was CCP to basically work on improving server infrastructure to make it so that, you know, no group, no matter how large they are, is invincible. And basically Goon Swarm did what Goon Swarm does. They went for their own self-interest rather than the health of the game. And eventually it'll probably bite them in the ass. But for now, it basically means they are invincible. But yeah, Test Alliance decided to poke Goon Swarm. Goon Swarm eventually, basically because of these mechanics of the game, wore down Test Alliance to the point where they could pretty easily basically beat the crap out of them. And that left Warped Intentions, who were really crap at doing anything on their own, unable to defend themselves. And they basically got raffle stomped by other groups. It was great. I wish I could have been part of it. Hey, Steven, would you come over to my house? I want to talk. But I mean, I want to talk while surrounded by all my own furniture. I mean, alright. I got time, I guess. This has been a long video. Jeez. Hey, don't be shy. Come on in. Do I have anything I can give her? I could give her the pacifier. I mean, I could give her the pink cosmos. Come on out of my house, and their totes is, it's grab a seat and tell me everything. Hit me with your likes, dislikes, tell me what you want, what you need, why you get up in the morning, say about your fashion hits and misses, every piece of music you've ever heard, secret superpowers. Oh my gosh, spill it all, blah. That is way too much all at once. You really should have paced that a little better, and I probably could have actually told you a bunch of stuff. But, you know. I do want to play a game. Time for a game of high card, low card. A wrestling singlet. I don't really want one of those, so hopefully I lose. 8. Oh man, okay. So it's a 1 in 8 shot that it's 9. Or is it 1 in 7? Either way. It's bigger or smaller than 8. It's bigger. It's the 9. I'm really feeling the 9. It's the 9! Why? I don't want this. I don't want this, Mr. Johnson. What do you think of my place? Stylish, soothing, perfect, all the above maybe? Don't hold back. I want you to love it here. So you probably want to come back all the time. I do love it here. It's very cozy. And so my house is super exciting. Like, I love her house. I don't know if this is actually what her house is supposed to look like, and I want to look that up now. Because, like, it'd be really cool if this is actually just what her house is supposed to look like. I don't think it is, though. I feel like her house is probably supposed to be a lot more, like, oriental. Be the best way of putting it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she has a lot of bamboo stuff. Normally. So this is a default house. It's very cozy, though, and it fits her perfectly. So that, like, I literally had to look it up. Shopping is all about opportunity. If you shop and you see something you like, take the opportunity to buy it. Take it in here, I might give it to you at friend price. I'm gonna say I want it. I've picked something I want. I'm good. Yeah, I am heading out already. Was major fun. Imperial KK. Little gift to help you remember the first time I invited you over. Aww. Wait, this is the first time she's invited us over? I could swear she's done it before. But yeah, like, if I didn't have all the contacts I had, I probably would have been majorly screwed over. As would have been basically any of my line members that actually stayed with me. Like, because basically, Warped Intentions, when they lived in Providence, decided to move into, like, basically the inner ring of Providence, which I suppose saying that makes it sound like somewhere fancy and that you'd want to be. No, this was like the border with another region deep inside Providence. This was not somewhere you wanted to be if you weren't intending to fight, basically. Which, given Warped Intentions was never particularly great at fighting, you would think they wouldn't want to move there, but they did, which meant we moved there. From our nice, safe little pocket that we were in, to somewhere a lot more dangerous, with no real benefit. But, yeah, so we were deep in Providence. We weren't Reds, so we could, in theory, just fly out, but the problem is, we had to get a lot of valuable things out. And preferably in as few trips as possible, so we were using my deep space transport, which has a pretty big hangar bay on it and can carry pretty big stuff. It's basically there are a class of ships called freighters, but think of it like a freighter. But the thing is, this is a very expensive ship, and I was carrying very expensive things. If we had just tried to fly out of Providence with that, would have never made it. We needed the use of the Providence jump bridges. And thankfully, because of the contacts I had, I was able to gain access back to the Providence jump bridges. So we weren't completely stuck. Like, because I had friends in basically almost all of the other alliances within Providence. And, like, I would not be surprised if there are still some members of CVA that are also, like, blood oath vengeance against anyone from Warped Intentions. Because, like, I was decently well known because I spent a lot of my time doing basically diplomatic stuff. as well as just simply helping people, figuring stuff out, sitting in station, not doing much, but like helping people with fits, telling them how to do things, you know. Imperial KK. Get that playing. Which, you know, as mentioned, ended up being a point of contention, apparently. Like, how dare I spend my time helping the Corp rather than caring about only myself? How dare I do that? Like, don't I have greed in me? No, I really don't. Like... There were some people I tried to help with fits and stuff that just, like... there was no getting through to them that what they were trying to do was not a good idea. So I would just try to help them do what they were trying to do to the best of my ability. Glad there was no bees in there. I was just trying to do that. Whoops. Where's the present? There it is. That looks to be lined up. I can't tell. No, this is slightly too high, isn't it? Breaking out the ruler. Yes. Whoops. I don't know if I can push that without pushing this first. I don't know if I can push this just that little bit. Maybe that's just how those have always been. Now it's a little too low, I think. I can't tell. They're definitely not lined up. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's not gonna bother me. It legitimately won't. So, they're good enough. But yeah. I'm gonna stop rambling here because I do have things I need to do today. And yeah, I've been recording more than long enough. Thank you all very much for watching. And hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Horizons. See you all then. And now in this end card, I'd like to ask if you liked the video, could you maybe hit the like button? And if you're not subscribed, could you maybe subscribe? It'd help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.